are Mo and Mom.
You're too loud.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi everyone, welcome.
Wonderful to see you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Doing another ASMR style movie review. We are
Mo and Mom.
And if you haven't checked out our introductory video, please do. Also, please check out some of our other movie reviews if you like ours, and I think you will, because today we are doing
One of my favorites.
The Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
So we chose, I think, pretty appropriate costumes to do this movie review today.
Yours looks wonderful.
Yours looks amazing. You made yours out of an old
nightgown. Took some scrap material when we went to the medieval fest.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
that's right.
Something fun.
It's beautiful. I like it. So I like the sleeves on mine, but it's not handmade like yours.
Mine are longer.
That's not true.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yours are longer.
Anyways, that has nothing to do with the movie, but we do enjoy dressing up a wee bit, just a little bit. But today, I'd go ahead and we'll launch right into the premise of our movie, which I would say is...
Love conquers all.
It's a love story.
So true.
I'd say above all. And then they sneak another wonderful reference in there, which is that books are wonderful for children and it helps bond and bring people together.
If you want your child to grow up brilliant, I know every parent who does, is reading to their child from the moment they're born. Every single night, like I did you.
You did. You read to me every night that you could.
Oh, one of my favorite quotes, which I hate to admit is R.R. Martin from Game of Thrones, but this quote is so true, is that a man who reads lives 1,000 lives, whereas a man who doesn't lives only one. And I believe that is so very, very true.
That's a wonderful quote.
Oh,
it really
expands their minds and just, creates such a powerful brain if you grow up reading a variety of genres.
Well, our movie begins with a sick boy who is played by Fred Savage, and
who obviously prefers video games to reading.
He is playing a video game at the very beginning of this, and his grandfather comes in and starts reading him a book
that his father read to him.
I think you're right. I think that is how that goes. And he, of course, being a young boy, is not extremely into it. He'd rather be playing his video games.
He's rolling his eyes throughout, but Mom says, be nice to Grandpa. Humor him.
Oh, especially since the book they begin reading, happens to begin quite like a love story, which no little boy launches right into, but it turns very quickly into adventure and all sorts of other things.
Is this a kissing book?
I love that part, yeah. He does that so well. But it begins their book, so it's kind of a story within a story. We have our main story, which is the grandfather reading the book to the son, and then the book is actually The Princess Bride, and the book starts out with our two characters,
Buttercup and Wesley, the farm boy.
And I think Buttercup is kind of a
farmer's
girl,
daughter,
herself, and Wesley works for them. And we really don't get a whole lot about Wesley out front. He just kind of does whatever she wants.
Very quiet, very hardworking, very cute, killer dimples, pretty blue eyes.
Pretty.
And she is gorgeous, but she has little to do with him except ordering him around, which he always responds very simply, as you wish. Now, what woman doesn't want a man that says,
and then goes and does exactly what he wants? I'm sure he's getting paid. He's not just doing it out of the goodness of his heart at this point. But still, it's a wonderful thing. And after a while of this, she comes to realize that she is making up things to do to catch Wesley's attention.
Simply
to keep him there next to her. So very quickly does our story progress to they fall in love and want to get married. But he cannot afford it at this point.
He has no prospects, which is when he decides to go out into the world and make his fortune.
That's right.
Which is we quickly find out that his ship that he was on was supposedly conquered by another pirate ship, the Dread Pirate Robbins, who takes no prisoners and is known to kill everybody. So, of course, she is devastated and says she will never love again.
Yeah, she goes into mourning.
And we think Wesley's dead.
And very quickly, again, the story progresses to the prince of our farm community.
Humperdinck.
Prince Humperdinck, who, he's not a bad-looking guy himself either, but we find out pretty quickly that he is one of our bad guys.
Yes.
He seems to be in love with our Buttercup, and as his right as prince, he can choose whomever he wants, and dresses her up beautifully and puts her in front of all the peasants and the people
and the
of the
public
village.
loves her because she's one of them, a commoner like they are, so they think this is wonderful. We soon find out that the prince is simply using her he wants to create a war with the neighboring country, and he has decided that if he murders Buttercup and everybody believes the neighboring country is who murdered her, then that will give him an excuse to go to war.
The right to start a war.
So now enter our 3 other semi-villains.
So she goes out for her. I'm not really sure she wants Humperdinck, and I think she likes to go riding on her horse. What else is she going to do? To kind of escape everything, she jumps on her horse and runs into our 3 circus travelers. Like they tell her that's what they are. And
we've got Fezzik, that's the
big guy. I think Fezzik's our
big guy.
Andre the Giant.
That's
the wrestler.
Andre. He's awesome.
And he's very big. Then we have Vicini's the little bald guy.
He's the brains behind it, and he is a true villain. He thinks he's very intelligent.
And our swordsman is Indigo Montoya.
Indigo Montoya.
And you hear his name over and over.
Because he is searching for the 6-figured man that killed his father. We hear his story throughout. But that is why he became such a great swordsman.
That's right. So they quickly kidnap Buttercup, and we learn that they're going to take her somewhere and frame...
in a ship over to that neighboring country where they plan to kill her. Now, our other 2 learn this, and they're not exactly happy about killing a young girl for no reason, whereas they are told starting a war is a very prestigious line of work.
And they need the money, obviously. They need the money. So they are getting ready to... They find out that there's a ship trailing them.
Another ship is following them.
And they try to speed up, and the ship gets closer, and it ends up being a masked character that is following them, and it becomes very obvious he is very much following, and they climb the cliffs, and he comes up after
Cliffs of Insanity.
The Cliffs of Insanity, which I think was just I think it's the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland is where they filmed that.
Really?
Yeah, I got to go visit there. Anyways, we'll talk about that on a different... Maybe I'll flash a picture of it up there if I can find it. But it's a beautiful location. I shudder to think of them actually using and filming in that location, because people die there every year. They get sucked over the edge.
And now this movie did come out a while ago, before there was really good CG, so I would like to research and find out how they did climb those cliffs up. They must have used dummies or something.
They did some really good shots. It was filmed in '87. Is what my notes say. So anyways, they get her up there, and they decide they're going to have to confront our masked invader
that is following them. Yeah.
And we have our first person is Indigo Montoya,
swordsman, and
they have a good fencing.
Fezzik tells him to kill him. We're going to keep going. You stay here and take care of him with your sword. And he goes, I'm going to do him left-handed. Because
Don't ruin every... We're going to ruin a lot, but let's not ruin every aspect of it.
Oh, but it was fun.
There's lots of fun moments. So I'm not going to go over every one, but I love when they with the Vicini and the wits, they have a battle of wits.
Well, first he beats the swordsman, then he beats the giant, then he ends up with Vicini in the battle of wits.
And that has a fun ending, but we come to learn as Wesley triumphs.
Oh, talk about giving it away.
So it's Wesley. It's Wesley.
Well, you don't know that, though. He's rather upset. She just knows she's being kidnapped by a masked man. He's rather upset because here he finally gets back and doesn't realize that the woman he loved is set to marry this prince.
So
now they haven't married yet. They're just set to marry.
That's right.
So he's trying to figure out where her head is.
He pretends to be
a bad guy.
The Dread
Pirate Roberts,
who she believes is who killed Wesley.
So she hates him.
I can't believe I ruined that. But yeah, we do have a really interesting meeting of them. She thinks that he killed her lover, and he believes that she is in love with the prince. So they kind
She's two-faced.
Yeah, they butt heads at first, but quickly we learn as I spoiled, that I'm not going to cut out, is that
I'm not gonna let her forget that.
it's Wesley. It was Wesley, our farm boy from the beginning. So
Well, only after she pushes him down the cliff and he says, "As you wish." That's one of my favorite parts.
oh, so we, of course, they're in love, and they're going to run away from our bad prince Humperdinck.
Well, Humperdinck is an excellent tracker, and they are following him.
And they go into the forest.
The swamp, the fire swamp.
The fire swamp, very good.
Where they deal with the fire, exploding fires, and ROUSs.
The rodents of
unusual size.
That's fun. That's a fun forest. It's fun for them to try to survive the forest. But they do, and they get out on the other side, right where the prince
Right in time to be captured by the prince.
And they take Wesley away.
Well, only Wesley says, "I'll die first. You're not getting her." And that's when she jumps in and says,
I'll go with you.
"I'll go with you if you
don't
promise
kill
to
him."
let him live."
So, of course, we're going to
Which he's not happy
spoil
about. But
a lot more, which is most of the movie. And he lies to her, takes Wesley down below, and pretty much tortures him until he dies very horribly and painfully. He just screams. It's not bloody or anything. It's still a good family movie.
very much a good family.
And Buttercup quickly becomes to learn that something's wrong. There's some reason why Wesley's not responding back to the ships he's sending out. She's going to marry him anyways.
Oh, that's right. He tells her that Wesley, he tells her he's going to put Wesley on a ship and get rid of him. He's not going to kill him. But of course we know he's not very truthful.
He's the pirate. He was going to go back on his pirate ship. That's right.
Well, no, the prince doesn't know he's a pirate.
Anyways, he ends up telling her a lie, that he doesn't go anywhere. He's taken underground and is tortured to death, is what we're led to believe. And our princess is now going to be married to our bad Prince Humperdinck.
Against her will. She says she won't marry him, but he's going to force her.
Yeah, that's right. She does not want to. And in fact, she alludes to a scene where she's going to kill herself instead of marry him. But that's kind of more towards the end. So we're going to tell you the whole movie. I'm sorry.
But our giant and our swordsman.
So, yeah, Fezzik and Indigo Montoya show up.
Now, the prince's friend, who is the torturer, the bad guy, does in fact have 6 fingers.
That's who Indigo has been looking for.
That's who Indigo's been searching for.
He
And
wants to
that's when
avenge
he
his father.
realizes that he needs somebody smart to help him get into the castle to avenge his father. And that's when they realize they've got to come and find the masked man, which is our hero Wesley. But Wesley's dead.
They don't care.
Enter Billy Crystal.
So, Billy Crystal is in this movie as Magician Max. Hang on, I think I wrote it down.
Oh dear.
Hang on.
Oh, he was adorable, and his wife was adorable.
I didn't write it down.
You can't stand hearing
Magic Max?
the word
Something like
Humperdinck, and she's like, Humperdinck.
Oh, and his wife. That's right, and his wife. So they find
They're so cute.
They find Wesley, who's dead, and they
He goes,
decide.
have fun storming the castle.
They take Wesley because he's mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
Not all,
completely
yes,
dead.
not all the way.
To Blaze.
To the king's ex-magician or healer.
He
who's been-
fired him.
So he has a reason to hate our Prince Humperdinck and agrees to help bring Wesley back to life as long as they do some sort of magic.
They do a magic pill.
And it is absolutely hilarious.
It's fun.
And they succeed in bringing him back to life, but of course, like most of us would be, where he's not completely back to life quite
He's
yet.
kind of paralyzed.
And he has a hard time.
And he has to fake it.
It's very comical. They do a good job.
Yeah.
And he does end up back into the castle. We have a good fight scene where Indigo gets to revenge his dad with our 6-fingered man.
Hello.
My name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
He says that quite a lot, so you get to learn his name, like we did so many times if we watched this movie, obviously.
It's awesome.
And it does have a happy ending. I love how it ends. It's kind of funny as well how our hero ends up saving the girl. It's not the dramatic fight scene you would think.
Well, the whole thing is a delightful romp. It's not a serious fairy tale. Let's put it that way. It's very, very fun.
They do a good job.
They did an excellent job, and it was something I feel is comfortable recommending to every parent with children that wants to watch something fun together. This is excellent.
The ending, so throughout this entire story, the sick boy who's being read this story by our grandfather keeps interjecting, and eventually he's absolutely in love with the story.
He's so enthralled.
He loves the characters, the fight scenes. I mean, who wouldn't? Most stories that are based on the book are much better when you read the book. Then the movie can't possibly tell everything that the book has.
A book is so much better in your head than any movie. No movie can do it justice.
So the end of it is he thanks his grandson for letting him read the book to him, and the grandson asks him to come back and please read another book to him. So it's a good message for
all
everybody.
the way around.
And my favorite moment is marriage. Marriage. It what brings us here together today.
It was very good.
Please don't crucify me on the
You caught me
internet.
off guard with that. Oh,
I'd forgotten about it until just right. Anyways.
Oh, you'll love it. If you haven't seen Princess Bride, promise you'll enjoy it. And let us know what you think if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, it's definitely my top 20. Again, I would take it
Agreed.
to a desert island. If I had 20 movies to
Me
take,
too.
that would be one of them.
Excellent.
Yes. So thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed our very, very all the way through thorough movie review of The Princess
about
Bride.
the spoilers.
Oh gosh, that's what we enjoy, obviously. If you like us, please follow and let us know how you enjoyed the movie and how we can improve. We're always looking to get better, even though we just enjoy getting together to do the same ways.
We don't really plan things out, if you can tell.
Oh, but we have fun.
Yes, indeed. I hope you have too.
Yes, we'll see you next time, and thanks again. Bye. Thank you. Okay, gosh,
dear.
how was that?
I don't know. I think I messed it up.
No, I don't care. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
Right?
had too much fun.
I hope people like it.
Oh, they won't.
We'll find out.
I love you.
I love you.